Hello. Hello there, everyone. Yeah, I'm doing a little impromptu settling stream. Look at it, isn't it nice? Let me just tweet that I'm doing it. And now, time for brackets brief, because it's only going to be a short one. Settling stream. The little gentle people with their little gentle farms. Twitch.tv / no, / thank you, Demon Tomato Dave. If you want to be very calm, this will help. There we go. There we go. Okay, well, let's see. So, you may recall, and I'm sure you'll recall better than I do, that... Oh, wait. I forgot to put the link in the Discord. Okay, there we go. So, you might recall that the other day I tried to play this and it took me absolutely ages to figure out how to send a boat back and forth. Now, of course, at this stage I've forgotten how I did it. So, you know, there'll be that. Reason for this stream is, in fact, I'm going to go over there now. I've got the tumble dryer on. I'm washing the bed sheets. They're nearly washed, but because of the noise of the tumble dryer, can you hear me? Because of the noise of the tumble dryer, which is just over here, you know, you've seen in my videos where my kitchen is, and that's where the tumble dryer is. I can't do any recording today, and I was going to record some music today. Can't do it because of the background noise. So instead, let's just have a go on this. Oh look, what are they building? What have I told them to build? A medium residence. Ah, right. Now that's useful because it gives us more settlers. Stepped away from the mic for a moment there. Being very attentive of this stream, aren't I? Well, it was impromptu, you see. I didn't really expect I was going to be doing it. But I am, and here we are. So I've got to try and remember what I'm supposed to do in this level, and I can't. I think I'm supposed to push... Well, I think I'm just supposed to push outwards from here. But here's my base. I think I'm supposed to push that way as well, perhaps? Okay, so just to fill you in, if you don't know, I'm a very big fan of the Settlers series. These are games in which you build lovely little villages. But I am not good at this one, because I don't remember it very well. I only played it in the 90s, and I didn't really like it. Oh dear. There are no free settlers to occupy this building. Ah, but a solution to that is to build a residence. I was worried that it was talking about the residence. What building is it? I think it was this one. A sawmill, right. And what's that? Stonecutter's hut. And in fact, there's the stonecutter there. It's cutting some stone. Oh, I think that's Abby home. Oh, is that you home? Hello. Abby's home now, everybody. I say everybody. I think there's one person listening. Hello, KBY30 number 2. What happened to KBY30 number 1? Did you dispatch them with a dart to the neck? Can't remember if you were here when we were playing this last. If you were, you might remember what I'm doing. Oh gosh, there we go. Quite a lot of settlers now, so I can distribute them. I guess I need one to go over here and be in this sawmill, unless that already happened. Yeah, now there was, for some reason, I was sending a boat across with some supplies, and I've done that now, and those are the supplies. And I guess it was to build some stuff. I don't know what stuff I need to build. What have I got already? Who's this? Woodcutter. Yes, that's good. hopefully he'll cut some wood over here as well, because I need some of that doing. Let's get some extra land, shall we? Let's see. Over here in the build menu. Guard tower. If I put one at the edge, and the other edge, like that, say, then that ought to give me a bit more scope. Here's my little collection of settlers, and as you can see, they're already heading first over here to pick up... Well, some are heading over here to pick up the resources, the wooden planks and the stones, and the others are just going straight over here to start meddling with the land to get it ready. KBY-30 confirms that the original KBY-30 has been well killed. That's a shame. We don't like to be a party to murder. But at least we have a secondary backup KBY-30 here, who can fill in the role the original KBY-30 did. And hey, perhaps the world at large won't notice any difference. You know, what they don't know, they can't legislate against. Okay, so that project's going on over there. Meanwhile, on the other bank, I've got here an iron ore mine and a coal mine, and my brother pointed out that for a lot of the video, and he pointed this out when he was in the middle of watching it, for the lot of the previous stream, I didn't build an iron ore smelter. Let's see if I've done that. Have I? Oh, yes, I did in the end. Jolly good. There we go. Yeah, because I had rather a disastrous first attempt at this level. Didn't know what I was doing. Still don't. There's a forester's hut. That guy is replanting these trees so that this guy... Ah, you see, I did that instantly. I'm starting to recognise the signs of a woodcutter. Can cut it down. I don't know what this is. That is a... Oh, it's a stone cutter's hut. Yes, I should have known what that was, because I only just looked it up a minute ago. Why don't we push ahead in this direction as well? Why not? What are our resources like? And how do I find that out in this game, I wonder? Tools and weapons, priority buildings... No, I'm not interested in priority. I want to know what I've got. Huh. Ah, here we go. Yes. So I've got... Oh, loads! Okay, yeah, so let's go ahead and build a guard tower. Abby! You've come home, hello! One of the things about streaming is that when your wife comes home, you suddenly feel like you're neglecting her. So let's involve her instead. Hi, Abby!
Hello.
How are you doing? Oh, they're fine. I mean, there's only one person watching. I pretended I meant you!
I'm giving him like flaps.
She is.
Flap, flap, flap.
I don't think it counts as spousal abuse.
Now I'm giving him a hug.
Yes. Are you alright though? You're not too tired for me to be pestering you like this on the stream? Is there anything I can help you with?
I'm alright for now.
Do you know what I'm going to be doing in a minute? I'm going to be making the bed because I've washed it. Yes. What?
I noticed it a bit.
Oh. Okay, so good idea. Ah, look what's happened over here. Oh, interesting. Why is this mountain already mined? Well, not mined, but signposted. Curious, huh? That's it. That's as curious as it is. Okay, well, we're just going to have to keep pushing, aren't we? How many resources does it take to make a guard tower, I wonder? It doesn't say there. You would expect that, you know, when you hover over it, it would tell you exactly how many woods and blocks it takes to make such a thing, but it doesn't. It's concerning because it makes it very difficult to keep track of what's going on. Oh, I know what I can do though. I can go into my settlers here and I can recruit a pioneer. Do I need is it a pioneer that I want? Yes. If I recruit a pioneer, send him over there. There he is, look. This little man here with a dot above his head. He can now find out what's going on beyond the borders of my land. Oh, who's that? I mean, he's got my coloured shirt on. So I guess he might be a good guy. Ah, here we go. The yellow team are right there. I shouldn't call them the yellow team. They're the yellow, I don't know, nation. They are a whole bunch of people. The yellow village. There we go. And I'm the red village. Okay. Well, it can't hurt to lay claim to some of these stones while they're going. Right there. But yes, the thing of primary interest is these mountains up here where I can mine for things. I've got some mining action going on down here already. Ah, look, this guard tower's been built. Hasn't done me much good. Given me a little circle of extra land, but nothing very exciting. And now it occurs to me, actually, that because I'm not very used to this Settlers game, I don't know the points to really be looking for that would indicate a good bit of land to enjoy, you know? KBY suggests calling them the Barley Bunch. The Barley Bunch? Why? Because barley is yellow. Is barley yellow? I suppose, presumably when it's in a field it is. Why aren't they attacking my little pioneer? Ah. I think they might be attacking my little pioneer. Yes, alright, I think... Yes, there he goes. Okay. Should have sent a spy, not that take land? What does that mean? I don't know why that said that then. Ah! Oh, that's interesting. So you can click on a... where was it? There was a building site. There we go. And it'll tell you now what I need is 2 wood and 3 stone. Okay. Aha! Here we go. Up here, I can build myself a grey mine. Now, what's grey in this? Is it a stone or iron? Probably iron. Stone is a separate thing, but in previous Settlers we have also been able to mine stone out of the ground, so you never know. You never know. But I think it's iron, so let's put iron down. You know, all these dots do make it difficult to see where I'm supposed to put the iron down, you understand? And heck, why not? Let's have a coal mine. I've got some coal down here and all. And then up there, there's some gold. Wait for this knight to occupy this tower, and I ought to be able to access it. There we go. Wait for it to all fade in. There we go. So now we can have a gold mine. There it is. Oh, go away! I have to memorize where the signs are first, and then click it. There we go. Now then, what did I learn in my previous game? Oh, yes! Right. Yes, first of all, let's get myself as much space as is settlerly possible. And now we need to start making some farms, because our miners need to eat. They're the only people that need to eat. It's useful, but they do. So, oh, that's not right, does it? Food, yeah, no, oh, there we go, food buildings. Okay, good. Grain farm, yeah. Now, fisherman's hut. I don't know how to determine in this game where the fish... Oh, I suppose that's got to be a fish, hasn't it? So let's have one of them. Where was he? Was he this one? Fisherman's hut, yep. Let's have a fisherman's hut there. Hope for the best. But we need a grain farm, and we need to place it with a bit of space at the front of it. That ought to do the trick. I don't know about that tree. Might be in the way. We'll see how that goes. What am I doing there? Is that my guard tower? Why did I build that there instead of up there? Was that the best place? No, it was the closest place to the edge. Not sure about that. We'll see. A couple more people have joined us, watching the stream. Hello to them. If you are a person watching this and hearing my voice, then it is you that I am speaking to. speaking a lot, of course. And I'm back. Hello there. I was just staring at my phone for a moment there. Evening, Bourbon Bob Jimmy. Old Jim Bob himself. Jimmy Bob Burb. Bobby Job Jeb. Jibby Dub Job. Hello. Keep KBY30 company. KBY30 is a difficult name to say, you know. I think we need to call you something simpler. Oh, let's have a woodcutter over this end of things. Why not? Go on there. We could really do with a bit of that, and we'll have a sawmill as well. Why not? Oh well. No, we've got a sawmill down here. That's quite enough, probably. Still not a fan of these odd paths that supposedly get worn as the settlers walk across popular routes, but they always end up in these odd, slicey angles. If there's any angle I don't like, it's a slicey one. I've always said that. Oh dear, look at this. I'm all... Oh dear, look at this, I'm all entangled. I believe my my guard tower has been taken over by the barley bunch. Not good. Oh, and I know why as well. It's because I haven't got any soldiers on this side, have I? Have I? Oh, I think I have. Okay, well let's rectify that by... I put down... Hell, why not a large residence? Because the last of my wood is getting used up, so we'll say a medium residence. And then from those settlers that we get, we'll recruit some soldiers. Meanwhile, I wonder if soldiers can be put on a boat. Go on, soldiers, hop on. No, it wouldn't seem so. Oh, and I think I know why. I think it's because I've made a trading boat. Trade ship. Transport ship. And I'm guessing that that transports fellas. Oh dear! Oh dear, the yellow team are here, and I don't have any knights. Oh dear! Oh dear! Hey, all of you. Can I recruit? Turn some of you into soldiers at all? When these guys finish building this residence here, I'll have some new settlers and turn them into soldiers. And they might be able to help. Otherwise, I might have to start this whole affair again. Meanwhile, loads of settlers over here. If I can just get this boat made, I'm set. Help, does it? Material needed nothing. Ah. Oh, it seems to be working. Let's get that out of the way. Oh! Oh look, I've got two boats. When did I get another boat? Hang on. And it's the other sort of boat. So I don't need this at all. Cancel. Right, so if I move you over there, but I move you over here... Sorry, could you shift, please? I'm getting quite sick of your antics. Thank you. Meanwhile, what are you doing? I've already cancelled the boat you were building. If I recruit a load of soldiers from this end. Just draw a big box so that it selects everyone selectable. And try and put them on the boat. Will this work? Yes, it will. Look at that! There they are, little fellas on the boat. Here comes someone else, someone else, someone else. There's a few of them about. Okay, lovely. So this plan is working to an extent. Let's see how it goes. They all appear to be swordsmen. Oh, and the boat's full. Right, you shift off with Lotus and EC, and you go over there. And what about you just standing around? How about we turn you in and say, look at these fellas, look what they're doing. Let's deliberately hire some bowmen. Oh, gosh, right, so it hasn't yet hired them. Now, why is that? Is it because I haven't been making weapons, because I sure enough haven't. But I've got some iron down here, I'm fairly certain. So I could put down here a weaponsmith, couldn't I? No. Apparently I couldn't. Though I could. Have I got a weaponsmith already? Now that I know what it looks like. No, it doesn't seem so. Okay, so I'll have a weaponsmith. Build a weaponsmith. Put an end to this weaponsmith. The one where it says I haven't got any weapons. Catapult hall. Sweet. Oh, barracks. That's presumably useful. Let's have a barracks over here. Bonk. Yeah. Everybody off. Unload. Yeah! Let's go marching into battle. See what happens when we go marching into battle. This is a lot of settlers for saying none of them are turning into Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you all going? Go there! What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Go over there. What are you doing? Oh! Oh, he's occupying this guard town. Okay, that's fine. Clang, ping, bong. They're having a little fight. Bong, ping, clang. That certainly had some sort of effect. Okay, so now I've got some injured soldiers. I think I'm taking the different colours here to indicate there. Yeah, there's a red one. That must be their health level. But over here, a barracks is being built, so presumably they'll be able to go there and rest. But being as I've probably screwed this up and I'm going to reload my save at some point anyway, how about we have a little look at what happens if I just try and fight these guys? Because I don't know how many knights there are in here at the moment. I've got 5. Oh, I've got more than 5, because I can send the boat back. Over here. And pick up a couple more guys that I've got. Oh dear. Quite a din. Right, whatever else is happening over in the chat. Need to get around to playing these games. They look fun, says Bob. Bob. Yeah, well, that's... I encourage it. I'm a big fan. Hey, you know, what? There, thank you. What? Oh, my boat went the wrong way again. Yeah, I really like these games, so you might too. If you can't be bothered, though, I'm going to be playing them on streams. And, oh gosh. Vardagshalton says, what? I managed to catch a stream? Hi, Dave! Hi, Vardagshalton. I'm Vardagshalton. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's see, how many knights have we got altogether? Just 3? Are you knights? You look a bit knightsy. Yes, you're knights. Great. Right, well. Let us keep pushing meanwhile. Let's have yet another guard tower. Seems like it's... I don't know. I start feeling guilty that I'm putting down so many guard towers and not doing anything else. So, how about... Well, first of all, some rocks there. Let's have a stone cutter. Mostly just to sort of clear the way. By the same token, let's have a woodcutter as well. And then we can start using this empty land, once it is empty, for things like farms. While we're here, let's have a farm. Meanwhile, up north... Oh gosh, look. Struck gold again. Mustn't grumble. Is that a yellow man? Is that what's happening? Are the yellow team just, like, mining stuff up here just to see what, like, I don't know, what's what? Rude. Oh, look. Oh, look, here's my farm. Here's my farm. And there's a woodcutter. I might get rid of that woodcutter. What I will do is I'll get rid of this guard tower. Crush the guard tower. Because I've got another one further out, so I keep my land. It gives me a bit... Oh, it gives me one extra knight. So he can go and... Oh, he can hang out in the barracks. Have all my knights gone to the barracks, or have I run out of them? There. Aha. I'll have a stone mason. So, just work his way through those stones. It's odd that these guys over here were for it instead of these. They're nearer, but I suppose they were nearer to the resources. Oh no, they're off to do something else. They've got a different thing in mind altogether. So why is nobody building this? Look at all of you guys. Go and do it. All of you. Look, there's just stuff on the floor there. Go and pick that up. What on earth is your problem, you fools? You can go and enjoy the barracks. No? I thought it might heal them. What does it do? Stop working. It's not working. Recruitment. I can do that anyway. Well, I don't know what you're for then. Your stonecutter cannot find any rocks. The stonecutter can't find any rocks to cut in his working area. Right, well, let's... First of all, let's see if I can target his working area over here. I don't know if that's going to work. He'd have quite a long walk. He seems to be attempting it. And we'll press outwards in this direction. No, we won't. I've already started that. Okay, so I need to concentrate on getting more knights. So let's try using the barracks for recruitment. Yeah, you see, it just takes me to the recruitment menu. I don't know why. Oh, whatever. And they're already recruited, so what's the problem here? Why aren't they happening? A soldier needs to be in the vicinity before you can garrison this building. Right. I suspect that might be an older message, because it seems garrisoned to me. Ah, right, now. Yes. Okay, well I don't need this building anymore by a long shot, so if we get rid of that, that should give me a knight who I can put in there. You wobble me. Oh yes. Now got a boat full of knights. I can ship over to the other side of the sea. Hello there, Max. Oh, good. Vardag Charlton is almost correct. What's wrong? Vardag Charlton. What's wrong with that? Tell me what specific bit it is, and I might be able to improve. Woody-doody-doo. What if I just sort of sent my knights over here on the offensive? Oh, they haven't healed. I feel as if standing near a barracks ought to heal them, you know? Can I put them in a guard tower, maybe? Or can I really just not heal them? Oh! Something over here. Oh, that's sorted out now. That's all done. Out. Here's a farmer, look. Lovely little farm. Farm, farm, farm. Farm, 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 farm. But there's no point being a farmer and making corn if the corn isn't going to get turned into anything. He's only made one corn, 2 corns now. Not an incredibly effective farmer, but it's a start. So, what should we put down? A mill. Grain mill. Down just there. Next door to the farm. Who have we got here? The woodcutter's hut. Right, bang in the way. Let's get rid of him. Oh, it leaves behind the materials that made up the huts. That's quite nice. Oh, hello. What do we have here? Is this going to be the stonemason's hut? Yes. Oh. I thought I sorted that out. I don't need that one anymore. Because you can... As long as you don't destroy the furthest one out, you can destroy them. So I'll put that there. Okay, that should do that. What about this? You're under attack. Not more. Oh, good. Oh, that's right, yes. I was wondering about launching an attack. How about it? Why don't I launch an attack? Are you not soldiers? You're soldiers. Yes. You can go over there as well. Is there not a button that's to just select all the guys? No soldiers lurking about down here, I wonder. Well, I'll tell you what I will do. Oh, well that's a grain farm, but where's his grain? Perhaps I've not left him enough space. In which case I need to put another grain farm there. Yes, let's try it. But if I'm going to have anything going on... see, that's what a farm is supposed to look like. If I'm going to have anything going on up here, I'm going to want a... water... man. Waterworks. That's showing me where I can build the waterworks. None of those seem very useful, though. I'm supposed to put them on a river, I thought. Yeah. Well, I suppose it depends on the definition of on. Let's try putting it there. Oh, wasn't that right bang in the middle of his farm? Ah, there. That's closer to a river, isn't it? Let's see if that works. So I've got a windmill there. And once that's whirring away, now I'm going to want a bakery. Doop. There you go. I've got myself a little food production area. Why is it difficult for me to select those 3 knights? Guess they're long rangers. Have a little dingly fight. Oh dear. Oh dear, I'm losing them. Oh dear. I'm losing rather badly. Let's do that. This is only supposed to be a very short stream. In fact, it's supposed to have finished by now, really. I'm sort of in extra time. Right, well. Tell me anything you want me to do for that, because these guys don't mind if I step away. Max says, I love how this snowflake keeps showing up, and I thought he was talking about a millennial. And I was about to be very confused by his sudden swerve in political stance. But he says, I love how this snowflake is, of course, referring to the actual snowflake next to his name there. Keeps showing up next to my name, even though that whole charity bits thing is long done. I like it. It marks me as an enemy of the Daily Star and their pretend version of The Rock. Oh yeah! That's right, the Daily Star, the paper, or, I don't know, website, whatever it is papers are these days, tried to claim... Well, they basically printed an interview with The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, in which he said things like, I can't stand all these snowflakes and these millennials who just want to have everything... want to be pandered to, or whatever it was. And then it turned out that it was just simply fabricated, and it was just a made-up interview that he never gave. Isn't that weird? Like, that's pretty weird, right? That's pretty deep into the level of things you don't expect. Noob question, why do I only see the chat in the stream window and not in the chat box on the stream site? Weird, what? Hopefully... Oh, okay, that's all sorted out anyway. Hello, Marinthew. We won't be here for much longer, but we're here just for now anyway. Oh, I did build a little fisherman, I thought. What became of him? Perhaps the land was conquered before our time. And there's quite a dense wood there, so let's put down another woodcutter's hut. Over there. And he can start working his way through those. Ah, here we go. This grain farmer's found some space in which to work. What we've got there is a woodcutter's hut. Seems to have cleared the immediate area. Let's set him to work down here in this little patch. How are we for wood anyway? We've got a fair bit. Oh, there's a weaponsmith. Now, is that the one that I put down a minute ago? Or was that up north? I can't remember now. No, I think we're alright for the moment, Marinthew. My concern isn't with replenishing trees. It's with getting shot at them. There's a lot of them and they're in my way. Oh look, I think I've already got a woodcutters. Get off me. No, see, that's a forester. No wonder there's this patch of trees. Well, alright then. Then that's fine. So that's obviously a tree area that I've decided on. What should we... Where should we go? Should we keep pushing, or should we... Because I think that's kind of enough land, really. So let's save our resources. I'll tell you what I can do with a couple more stone cutters, though, because they're really not pulling their weight. You'll want to build a few things to use up the logs in front of his hut, or he won't continue cutting. Well, that's honestly fine, then, isn't it? It means I've got a surplus. So we're okay. KB says, I've become the owl from King's Quest, but I can't remember how the owl from King's Quest talked, so I don't know what you're referring to there. I'll take your word for it, and if I find out, I'll actively do it more. And pretend to be an owl. Because they're wise, aren't they? It's nice to be an owl. What's happening here? Are we under attack? Well, I was. Oh, that's right. And then we all died. Now I haven't got any knights left, so what I would do is I would go into the recruitment menu and I would recruit some soldiers. But look, I have done. Here they are. These numbers, I believe, are how many I've asked for. Why I'm not getting them, I do not know. Is it because I need to transport weapons? It probably is, isn't it? My weaponsmith is over here. Can't see any weapons just lying around, but let's just see what happens. If I put my moving things about boat down here. Oh, did I? I made an owly. He made me yawn again, and now I yawn again. I see that did sound a bit like an owl. That's probably the kind of noise I made. Here's a thing going on today. Somebody said, somebody called Diagnosis Metal AF at Row Anna Silver with a Y says there is absolutely no reason we shouldn't have professionally recorded versions of every big Broadway show, at the very least. We have the complete capability to make them accessible and give a great experience, and we don't do it because money or theatre purism or whatever. Yeah. I just this week... I'm a fan of the recorded Broadway show, and by that I mean West End shows and musicals of any kind. Because... Well, I don't know, I'm just interested in that. And there's all sorts of different ways that they do them. And I've just watched one this week. I watched Miss Saigon, which there was a recording made of in, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And they released it on Blu-ray. And unlike other similar things that I've watched, it is actually just no strings attached. I don't mean that. That's not the right word. No... What do I mean? No, sort of caveats, I suppose. A recording of a stage show. You see, there's this rich history of them not quite getting it right. The famous Les Miserables 10th anniversary Dreamcast recording is a video production, but of a concert. You don't get to watch Les Miserables. It's just some very good, past cast members reassembled to stand on a stage in front of microphones and sing the songs and essentially create a new soundtrack album to replace the original studio recording, which was very sparse. I like it though, but it is. And so then on the 25th anniversary, they did, was it, or 20th? They did a second concert where they had, not quite as good a cast. Except in a couple of cases, there were some very good cast members, but they had, not quite as good or memorable a cast. again, just sort of just singing the songs, but now and then they would do a little bit of business to tell the story on stage a bit better. And around the same time, they did the Phantom of the Opera 25th, which is well worth a look if you've any interest in the musical Phantom of the Opera, because they basically mounted a production of the show and they filmed it, and it's on Blu-ray and you can watch it. And it's not just a concert; it really is that they're putting on the show. But they didn't do it like by filming the actual stage show. They put on a special performance, so they don't have the set, and instead they have these big screens that kind of represent the set. Now, it's actually perfectly fine, and it doesn't, I don't think, detract from the show, and anything that it does lack is made up for by the actual direction of the filming itself. So, you know, you can't see the set if you're in close-up, that sort of thing. You know, the screens do indeed cause a good enough illusion that you're kind of looking at the theatre set, and it's fine, and it's very good. It's an extremely good performance of Phantom of the Opera. So I'm more than satisfied with it. I think it's brilliant. But wouldn't it be good if they just filmed the stage show with all the set and the effects and everything? Well, that's what they've done with Miss Saigon, and it's like I've almost never seen it done before this way. At least not with us, because the other thing they've done is while filming the actual show, they've also gone in and done dramatic camera angles, and you know, certain moments have a kind of shaky cam feel to them when it's dramatic and things like that. There are effects of that sort. It's great. It's a really brilliant way of watching the show. I say that it's the only way I've watched the show. I don't know it other than that, but it seems it's a very good, you know, production. So I'm interested in that and the different ways of doing that. And this person's saying, yeah, why don't we just film more? Yeah, I agree with that. I completely agree with that, down to the ground. Like, I don't see why we don't. There are so many things that are gone now. I mean, I've rabbited on about my thing, Return to the Forbidden Planet, often enough. There's not really a satisfying way of watching that. Actually, as it happens, a recording of the almost original cast, except one of the characters is changed, of Return to the Forbidden Planet is now on YouTube, and you can find it. So that's good. But it gets lost under quite a wealth of not particularly good amateur productions, which I'm sure were fun at the time. But why wasn't that recorded better and sold, is my question. It's clearly it's just released from the personal collection of one of the cast. Christian Roberts, I believe, is the YouTube channel where you'll find it. Is that his name, Christian Roberts? Something like that. And so it was never intended for release. So it's a fixed camera at the back of the stage, and you can't see anyone's faces, and it's not very good sound quality. Why not? Why don't they record them with quite good sound quality, is my question. Just because that's not a show that's even on anymore, let alone with that cast, let alone with that set or that production. It's just not on anymore. The same can't be said for Hamilton, of course, which was filmed in its entirety with the original cast. They just don't release it. Just not releasing it. Because I guess they think people won't go to Hamilton if they do. I don't know. There are reasons why they're not releasing it, and I don't know those reasons. I was rather cross with them, actually, in 2016, because that's when they filmed it, and I felt that there was something of a... I don't know, there was two forces pressing against one another in those days. Essentially, even you can describe it as the right and the left, but it seemed as if we were heading towards a world of far more racial integration and tolerance, and then up against that was the trolls who were fighting back against it, and they won. And I remember at the time feeling, and this is naive of me, but it really did feel at the time as if perhaps if they had released Hamilton on video and it had been this big push, honestly, I think they might have had an effect, because the CD was phenomenally popular. Almost everyone in America would have bought a copy, and I genuinely think they would have actually changed some minds, because you come out of Hamilton feeling a tremendous... Well, maybe this is just me. I don't think it's just me, though, because whenever I'm at the theatre or I'm watching a theatrical recording, I do come out with a tremendous fondness for the people in it. I come out feeling quite protective of them. It's like, oh, you've done such a good job. And it's so hard. And it is. I know, maybe, I don't know I don't know whether everyone agrees with this, but I think that is very hard work, being good at singing and acting and stuff. And yes, to see a group of people pull that off in a coherent way is I don't know, I get very personally fond of them. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. I think Hamilton does create this feeling of, like, I don't know, just wanting to be friends with a group of people. And the defining thing about that group of people, when it comes to Hamilton, is their diversity. And I don't think you can watch that show and come out of it racist. You know, unless you're a very big idiot. I mean, you'd have to be one to begin with to be racist, but you know what I mean. Actually, no, you don't. You just have to be sort of mired in a particular culture. So, anyway, I was cross with them for not releasing that at the time that it felt like was the moment to release that. You know, somewhere down the line, the video will come out, and it will not be as important as if it had come out in 2016. And I don't just mean in that sense. I mean, like, just, you know, even among fans, they'll be like, yeah, well, you know, we've all seen the bootleg now, so whatever. I think, you know, right at the time, it was like, yes, give us this right now. And I don't think that's the case even anymore. Still great, mind you, Hamilton. Go and get the CD. You don't need to see it. It's all... The CD completely gives you everything you need. The whole story is there. It's narrated. And that's not new for the CD. That's how it is live. If you're yet to experience Hamilton because you don't or can't go to the theatre, pop that soundtrack on. However it is you want to find it. I, you know, confess to my, should I say to my shame, that my first go on it was on YouTube. Someone had uploaded nearly, but not entirely, the whole soundtrack, and I listened to a little bit of it and was completely mesmerised with it, and I more or less immediately bought the CD and then tickets to the show. So I feel as if I've made up for that now. I've also bought the CD for at least one other person. It would be two. Very happy to provide my Serious Disney co-host Jahan with it, but he has this thing where he won't listen to a musical until he's seen it. And he has this other thing where he refuses to go and see it. So I don't think that's... I'm not really sure when he's going to experience that, which is a shame because he'd really like it, because he's a big fan of Howard Ashman, as am I. And I feel like Lin-Manuel is the new Howard Ashman in a myriad of ways that are nothing to do with The Settlers. I ought to get back to playing The Settlers. I'm just scrolling around the screen randomly, aren't I? Why am I doing that? Yes, because I want to transport some... Yes, that's right! Weapons. So... no, it seems despite building weaponsmiths, we don't have any weapons. Perhaps I haven't built a weaponsmith as I previously thought I had. Or maybe... Oh, let's just start a whole new production line up here. Somebody just yippeed somewhere. I think that's them finding iron. So, what do we need? We need an iron... thingamy. An iron... smelter. Smelter is an interesting word, isn't it? Sort of implies that it's like melting, but it's not melting. Except, of course, if you went up to a smelter by trade and you said to him, I'm confused about smelting because it sounds like melting, but not quite. So what is it? And he might shrug his shoulders and say, smelting. And you might say, but I thought it wasn't melting. And he would say, smelting. And you might say, yes, but I thought it wasn't melting. And this could go on, you know, for good. Abby has decided that it can't. And she has informed me that. Max says would love this to keep Fanatical alive at least. Oh yeah! I forgot for a minute there that you went to Fanatical. Exactly. You see? Exactly. And let me tell you, trust me, I pestered the production staff, the creators of Fanatical, who I spent some time with that night, to record it in some way. And they seemed, like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. And that was really weird for me, because it's almost, to me, creating theatre... For some reason, theatre people don't... They seem to... It's not just that they're purists and they want theatre to be fleeting and then gone. It honestly seems to come as a surprise to them that someone might want it to be recorded. Rather than it being a kind of a possessiveness, it just doesn't seem to be a priority, because to them, live is the thing they're excited about, and that's great, I agree with that. But when live is gone, as it is in the case of Fanatical, and Return to the Forbidden Planet, and many of my other favourites, the 90s Doctor Dolittle is one. The original Starlight Express. The Mr. Men versus the Space Pirates I would dearly love to watch a recording of today. It just isn't something that they all seem to have thought of. Now, as I understand it, the reason for that, though, is that a lot of productions, if not all productions, do get recorded by themselves, and, the people who were in them get a copy should they ever wish to see it again. And they sort of don't, except, maybe 2 or 3 times ever in their life when they're reminiscing, and then that's that. But I do think there's a shame, just the preservation part of me that thinks that everything ought to be preserved in some way, wants that to exist. I don't know whether that happened with Fanatical. I know there was some interest in getting some kind of record of events, even if it's just to, set up somebody's camcorder and maybe take a recording from the sound desk on the last night or something like that. I don't know if that happened. And if it did, I can't imagine we'll be the recipients of that, because there are rights to be thought of, and there are one of the perhaps this is the biggest concern. Essentially, what you've got there is a recording of a lot of different people's work. The cast is dissolved and sent off in their own. Well, they're not. I don't mean to say they're put into some kind of machine and they're dissolved. What I mean is they go their separate ways. They're not necessarily. They're not part of a cohesive group after that, who you can simply WhatsApp or show up in the after party and say, hey, what do you guys think about this? There comes a complicated procedure of getting in touch with all of them and securing the rights to all of their performances, and then the same can be said for the musicians, and even the people who operate the lighting and the set designers and things, all presumably would have to sign off on such a thing. So I can imagine it's rather difficult. So my proposal is that everything be recorded and then squirreled away, and then after a particular period of, say, 10 to 15 years, then it's released, no matter what. And at that point, whoever's sort of nearest to being the rights holder can perhaps have a small bidding war with each other, and then they be in charge of releasing it. But if that process doesn't happen in time, it just comes out. And the reason I say that might sound a little, I don't know if that's radical anti-copyrightism or anything like that. But the reason I say it in the case of theatre is that the whole point of theatre is to create a significant and lasting memory/stroke experience in a person's life. And I just happen to be of the opinion that those ought to be accessible again if possible. I can't count the times now that a half-remembered memory I've found on YouTube, the thing I was watching on TV that I'm half-remembering. And I can relive that, and well, not so much relive it, but like find out what it really was. Including some like quite traumatic memories where as a child I'll have seen something that I just misinterpreted and found very frightening in some way, or I don't know, just found it to be something it wasn't. I suppose this is a bad example, because I loved this, but there was something I watched on television once where I saw a moment of body horror, in which a man standing on screen, sort of by some strange procedure, stepped out of his own body, and his skeleton came out, and he went the other way. I don't know if you could hear Abby chuckling away in the background there, because she recognises exactly what I'm talking about. What? She's having a big sigh. Am I letting you down in some way? And it was Tim Curry singing the Halloween song in The Worst Witch. And in one special effect, sure enough, he does sort of step out of the way and there's a skeleton behind him. I think he's just meant to be revealing a skeleton because it's a Halloween prop, but I saw that as his skeleton. Yes, I know. I want to make a soldier, but it doesn't seem to be doing it. You have a weaponsmith, but the iron and coal mines on the side the smith is on don't produce as they aren't getting food. Well, yes, but I thought I put one on the other side as well, and it doesn't seem to have resulted in any... There's a weaponsmith. Hasn't got any coal, is that? Do I not have a coal mine? Iron ore mine. Coal mine! Findings 100%. Does that mean he's finished? He's got all the coal. So why haven't I got any coal? I've got 12 coals. Okay, perhaps I need to transport some coal over there. The iron mine on this side isn't getting food either. Oh, click the bread icon after clicking on an iron mine. Oh gosh. How do you know that? And then put the bar for bread to iron mine. Whoa. Okay, so I'll put that 50-50, roughly. Huh. Weird. Okay. 50-50-50. So, right. What's another example? Of something I completely just misinterpreted. Oh yes, actually. So here's something I'd love to find that I haven't done. Or should I? Okay, here's another example, but this is a bit gross. Okay, so this is an example of I guess like a mild trauma. This is a bit gross, but it turns out not to be, but I'm still going to describe what I thought it was. So, when I was a kid, I came down from bed one night, and my parents were watching something on TV, in which there was a dinner party of some sort. And... Oh, what are they? Oh, they're just scouts. There was a dinner party of some sort, and some people were sitting around the table, and they... Just sort of, as they sat there, they would just eat their food... and then just start puking it onto their own laps. And I remember there was a guy there who puked into his lap and then came up with a little bit of puke on his nose and laughed and said, "Better luck next time, eh?" And the lady who was serving the dinner, who was going through this experience, was driven to tears by this. Isn't that weird? What a weird thing to be on TV. And I was sitting there one day thinking, like, that's so weird that I must have been wrong about it. And I YouTube searched it because I knew what it was. It was All Creatures Great and Small. And I knew that because the theme tune was on as I was heading upstairs. And no, that's not what happened at all. There was two men who were... That one scene someone had uploaded to YouTube. It was the weirdest thing. They were sitting at a table and they were belching loudly. But nobody was puking into their laps. I don't know where I got that from. And then there is this moment where the man... I guess what it is that one of the two men, I think maybe like falls forwards into his food and gets a bit of mash on his nose or something like that. And maybe I thought, as a small child, that he was leaning over to puke in his lap. I bet that's what it was. And sure enough, the woman is moved to tears and stamps off, but I don't know why. Because I haven't watched the rest of the episode. I think they are supposed to have some sort of food poisoning, but it's you know, just depicted as a bit of a stomachache and some burping, and that's what's happening. What's happening here? So that's an example of how you know it's good to relive your old memories by watching the video. That was a bad memory, but you could do it with good memories, like when you went to the theatre and you could watch a show and it'd be great. But one example I'd love to find of a thing that I remember as a kid and I've never seen it again was a Blue Peter segment, which I called The Man Who Made a Model of Himself, but which I'm aware was an interpretative dance piece based, honestly, I think on Frankenstein, and I think it was my memory of it is that it was Frankenstein, and that was the day I learned the name Frankenstein. But I called it The Man Who Made a Model of Himself, and what I can remember of it, it doesn't really resemble Frankenstein in my memory. It was a dancer alone on a stage, and then there was some sort of an effect where a rectangle was uncovered in some way, a rectangular like door in the set. But it just looked like, I mean, it might have been like a light and shadow thing, and just like, you know, they just revealed a rectangle of light, in which was the shape of a second dancer who so closely resembled the first one that I thought it was literally the same man. And they danced, and it told a story of some sort, and that's all I can remember. But that was where I learned of the concept of Frankenstein somehow, like the one man made another man. Goodness knows what it really was. I'd love to see it again. How can I? You know, I've tried searching for, you know, Blue Peter Frankenstein, and of course, that's something that's going to get multiple hits. Blue Peter, who don't know, very long-running children's television program on the BBC. Probably been running since the beginning of BBC television, I don't know. Certainly it's been on since the 60s. And possibly the 50s. Possibly the 40s, like, I don't know. It's been on for a very long time. All I know is it's been on since the black and white days, but what does that mean? You know, that's a wide net to cast when it comes to BBC television. So it's not something that can be easily searched for, and you certainly can't, you know, crack out the box set or anything and just keep searching for it. So who knows? Haven't quite settled it yet, Elbow. Oh, are you Elbow as in Bob, that I know? I don't know you very well, I'll confess, but I know someone called Bob. Is that you? If so, hello! And if not, I mean hello, you know? Well, I'm not going to deprive you of a hello. If so, you're probably cringing at my inability to stream properly, because I know that you're a streaming person, and what I'm doing is really just sort of blithering on, while occasionally scrolling around a screen, because I have now lost all control of what I'm supposed to be doing in this game. So let's focus for a moment and try and figure it out. So, Marenthio a moment ago told me I needed to increase the food going to mines. Okay, that seems to have worked. That seems to have worked. What if I now was to make myself... I've got an iron smelter there. Okay, so in that case, let's have a weaponsmith. Oh dear. Well, that's absolutely useless, isn't it? Okay. Okay, how about we stop this forester from foresting? And hopefully my woodcutters will create some space. No, they won't, look, because they're full of woods. So, hopefully there'll be space to build a new woodcutter. No. Curses! What am I supposed to do to get out of this deadlock? I need to cut this forest down. But to do that, I need to build stuff. But to build stuff, I need to cut the forest down. Well, dinner's served anyway, so I'll leave you at that. I have been known to, but not recently, says Bob. Also, blithering is the core streamer skill. It's why Fuzzy is so good at it. Ah, you are the Bob, I know. About 90% of Twitch audience is lurkers. They are here for the blithering, by and large. Hello, lurkers! I'm happy to blither at you. Stories from Dave's past are my favourite parts of these streams, says KB. Oh, that's nice, because it's the least favourite part of normal people's interaction with me. I don't mean normal people, I mean people in real life who I encounter and blither on at. Okay, well, there we go. I guess that maybe this can be salvaged, and I'll find out next time. Or maybe I'll, you know, load up a previous save and see what becomes of that. But now I'm off. I'm going to have some dinner. And there, that's all. So goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, everybody. Have a nice time with the rest of your evening. That was Abby. Did you hear her? If not, you missed her. Bye! Ta-ta! Ta-ra! Good night.